Thank you very much, Sam, for agreeing to chat with me, and congratulations on The Haunted Wood. Right at the back, you have Can you remember the first time you fell in love with a book? It's an easy question for me to ask that to you. When was the first time you fell in love with a book? Do you remember that?
Well, I wish I could say I remembered a single one, but I have a very strong memory of reading some very generic, I think, version of the story of Robin Hood, which is obviously very well known in the UK. I don't know how much that travels to India, but, sort of British myth and legend about this hero who lives in Sherwood Forest and robs the rich and gives to the poor. And I remember reading this very generic version of this and absolutely collapsing in tears as a very young child at the end when Robin's on his deathbed and he fires this last arrow out of the window and it lands on the edge of the forest and he knows that's where he's going to be buried alongside Maid Marian. And it somehow... I realised then what it was to be moved by a book. And there are other examples too. I mean, a book by Dennis Watkins Pitchford, BB, called Lord of the Forest, which bizarrely was a book about an oak tree, a single tree. The biography of this tree. The tree has a more exciting life than most trees, and, kings fleeing revolutionaries climb up it, and Robin Hood or similar hides in it, and it has quite a life. But again, the death of the tree at the end of that book kind of ended the 7-year-old me. So I think a lot of what made me fall in love with books was realising how much they could move you.
Right. So it's not about comedy, but more about tragedy that you remember. Those are the ones that stay with us, I guess, because they move us as people.
I think so. I mean, of course, I remember the sort of joy and laughter to be had from, Dr. Seuss books, which were read to me when I was tiny, and the story of Ferdinand the Bull, and all of these things were sort of, and being slightly afraid, the spookiness of things like Where the Wild Things Are, Maurice Sendak's great classic. I think sort of there's a whole range of emotions that a book can give you, even as a child, and it's recognising that they have that power, be it to make you laugh, or to make you cry, or to make you feel the sort of tingle of excitement of travelling somewhere different, that, once that gets you, I think you're hooked.